and I am dying and I'm turning into like a puddle. It makes me so happy because she's just the best person ever. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you wanted to join me today. Today I am going to go through some of your assumptions about me and we are going to talk about them, and hopefully it's going to be a great time. It is in the morning here and I am just having a little bit of water and just in my robe, and I'm living the fantasy, yo. I will also be taking these off now because I now realize that it's probably a pain in the butt to watch this glare. I asked you guys on Instagram yesterday if you had any assumptions. I did this video once before, so I'm not going to answer the same assumptions. If you want to watch the other video, you are very welcome to do so. Okay, let's do this. First one is you're an only child, and I'm not. I have a brother and I also grew up with 2 stepbrothers. So you sing during most of the day. That is very, very true. I have a Spotify playlist and I use it every time I clean, I get ready, I cook, anything really, and I love to sing along. And if there's a song on the radio that I know, you will bet your butt I'm going to sing along as well. Your septum is gone. Yes. I decided not to wear the septum anymore because I had an urge to change my appearance ever so slightly, and I thought about maybe getting bangs, but I knew that would be a bad idea, so instead I took out the one thing that's super easy to change about my appearance to get like a breath of fresh air, and that has really worked. So I'm quite happy that I'm not wearing it anymore, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get it back sometime, but I don't know. Okay, this one is really exciting and also just a little bit passive aggressive, but really exciting. You are not aware of the huge negative impact of channels like YouTube have. Generally, the internet has a really negative impact on the environment, and streaming services especially have a negative impact because of the huge amount of data that needs to be stored for that to happen. So streaming movies, videos, music, etc. has a negative impact on the environment. But I would also like to point out that there isn't really an alternative when it comes to sharing knowledge globally. So if I want to share my message, it's a really nice and effective way of doing so, with the video and the words and the sounds. So there's a lot of stuff that I have reduced or boycotted in the name of sustainability, but the internet is not going to be one of them, although I am terribly aware of the negative impact. But I would also like to point out that no one can do everything, but we can all do something. So something like streaming movies with other people instead of streaming them by yourself can be a really nice way of helping out. You can also use Ecosia, which is like a search engine that plants trees, so instead of using Google you can use that, so there are still stuff you can do. Just like to point that out. But yes, I am aware. You're a university student until Friday. I don't know, this video will probably go up after I am finished with my exam. So when you see this, I'm no longer a university student. You don't have many friends. I hope I am wrong because you're an awesome human being. Thank you so much. I thrive so much with a huge network and a lot of friends. But with my job, I usually end up, like sort of isolating myself, filming and traveling and doing workshops and talks and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to maintain like a big group of friends, but I do have some very dear friends, yes. You used to do drama in school. I did not. I am terribly shy when it comes to being on a stage talking about something that's not myself. But I was very involved with the drama department section of the school, but I did like makeup and hair and stuff instead. So you're a cat person. I thought so for a long time as well, but I have come to realize maybe I'm more of a dog person actually. You prefer non-fiction books. I have just spent 5 years at the university studying English and culture. I've read so much fiction and literature, has been amazing. So for the leisure reading that I've been doing whilst at university, it has been primarily non-fiction, and that's what I prefer right now. So I've been reading a lot of mythology, which is kind of fiction but also kind of history and culture, and I've been reading a lot of physics and chemistry and stuff because I think that's really interesting and something I know squat about, so that's been cool. You look and remind me so much of Emilia Clarke, always smiling. It's so funny because I get this sort of comment on almost every single one of my videos. Always one of you guys wants to tell me that I look like Emilia Clarke, and I am dying and I'm turning into like a puddle. It makes me so happy because she's just the best person ever. Oh, you are slutty. First of all, I don't know if this is a troll or not, it's probably just a troll, but I would just like to point out that you should never call people slutty. You should never judge anyone based on their sexual preferences. That is none of your damn beeswax. And that you and your boyfriend will move in together soon. We are not planning on moving in together. We live very, very close to each other, like 2 minutes apart. And I really, really like that, but I do like to have my own place. So that's not in the cards right now. You want a pet, but you don't know what, and maybe not ready to commit / housing conditions. That is spot on. I really, really, really want like a rescue at some point, I think. But firstly, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, and I sometimes quite spontaneously have to leave the town for several days, so that does not make any sense. And my boyfriend has a dog, Molly, and I take care of her a lot, and that is actually enough for me right now. You miss having some unsustainable items. I don't really think I miss something. In my everyday life, I don't walk around missing stuff because I replaced it with other stuff that I love more. So I don't really miss anything like that. I miss sometimes not having all of this information in my head because, gosh darn. You seem to keep a lot to yourself, maybe a bit introverted. I'm actually very extrovert and I get a lot of energy from being around people, but I do see why you would assume that based on my job and what I do. Because yeah, it seems like I'm alone a lot in my videos, but I'm not, I promise you. Zero waste is impossible. That depends on what you mean specifically, because if you mean the movement, zero waste, like the lifestyle, then no, it's definitely not possible. But if you mean very literally zero waste is impossible, then yes, I would agree, because we all have some sort of footprint. Just talked about the internet. So yeah, so yes and no, depends on what exactly you mean by that. Because the zero waste movement is not necessarily zero waste, it is like the goal, it is the focus. But I have a whole other video about that, cool. Don't mind using second-hand wool. I actually also made a video about that. I have several jumpers in second-hand wool and I don't mind using them, specifically if the alternative is just throwing them away. And I don't necessarily want to throw anything away just to purchase new stuff. But I would never buy anything new made of wool, obviously. But yeah, I don't necessarily mind using second-hand wool. I also have a pair of Doc Martens in leather and I've had those for 5 years and they were second-hand as well. But if I were to replace them at some point, I would look for the vegan leather alternative, I think. Aquarius, I would like to know more about your natal chart. I don't actually know anything about horoscopes and I've never really been too much into that, but I am an Aquarius, yes, so that's a pretty neat guess. So that was the assumptions I got on Instagram. This was actually quite exciting. I would love to talk more about the environmental impact of the internet if you're interested in that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you want another one like this or something in this spectrum, then leave a comment and tell me. And if you have any other video suggestions, always leave a comment and tell me, because I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day. I'm going to get dressed and get started with my day now, so cheerio! Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!